Do you believe that this game is going to be a lot closer than it should be?
Yeah, I think it will be, just because when I look at recent history between these two teams and the matchups that they've had, they've been relatively close. I mean, I think if memory serves me correct, Kev, I know this is probably going to be insulting to you, but the one win that the Jacksonville Jaguars had was against the Indianapolis Colts last year, correct?
Correct. Against Philip Rivers, week one.
Now, I don't remember the score of that one, but that one was in Jacksonville, and that one was a pretty bad loss. Now,
Pretty sure it was like 10 points.
when I kick it forward to this year and the one matchup that they had just a couple weeks ago, if I remember correctly, the Colts only won that game by 6 points. It was like 23-17.
Yep.
And when I look at this game going into Sunday, Kevin, we've been saying it all year. Give Jonathan Taylor the ball. And pretty much 9 times out of 10, when he gets over 100 yards rushing, it's probably going to end with a win. And I think that should be the formula here. Just continue to give Jonathan Taylor carries. And then if you want to split some with Naheem Hines, just so you get a little bit of a split between both backs, I think that that's fine. But at least 2/3 of that offense, as far as their production goes, should go through Jonathan Taylor. And I think if they do that successfully, you could sprinkle in, some good plays by Carson here and there. I think they'll do fine on the offensive side of the ball. And then when it comes to the defensive side of the ball, I mean, Darius Leonard has been playing out of his mind the last couple of weeks, just as far as his ability to create turnovers, or at least lead to some opportunities to create turnovers. He's always there. He's always making plays. And I think the defense is going to have to step up mightily against Jacksonville, just knowing how close that these matchups have been against Jacksonville with them. So defensively, as far as Indianapolis is concerned, if they're able to force a turnover or two off of Trevor Lawrence or that Jacksonville offense, I think it'll bode well for them, but they have to turn the ball over. And I mean, the Jags are coming off of a abysmal performance against the New England Patriots last week, where they got hung up for 50 points on the road. So Jacksonville is going to be ready to go in this game because they got disrespected by New England last week, and they're going to have to get it back, as far as I'm concerned, in this matchup against Indianapolis. And I think with Jacksonville, I think they would love to play spoiler here to possibly end the Colts season with a huge win at home, which would probably be the biggest upset in recent memory if the Colts were able to lose this game against Jacksonville, just because Jacksonville is absolutely horrendous this year. They're 2-14 for a reason. And as far as the score goes, as far as the prediction goes, I think it's going to be relatively close. I think it's going to be one of those games where it's going to be a one possession result when it's all said and done. But I think Indianapolis comes out on top, but I think it's going to be like 24-17. I think it's going to be very similar to the performance that they had back at home just a couple weeks ago. But I think it's going to be one of those games where, Kevin, you're going to be sweating bullets. And I wouldn't be surprised if you get like a low-key mini heart attack during certain points of that game, just because if Frank Wright starts getting on his bullshit, I know how it's going to be with you. So
you'll be recording. You'll be recording alone if
but
we lose that game.
But I do think that the Colts come out on top, and that's just how I see it.
So once again, having to make a prediction on my own team, it gets very, very complicated. My bias tends to be put aside because I don't have faith in Frank. We should win this game. We have a better team than them. We have a better quarterback. We have a better defense. I mean, on paper, we are just an overall better team. Record indicates it, and so does everything else statistically. But the way we collapsed last week, the way that Frank got fancy, I don't know what's going to happen. I have no idea of what version of the Colts we're going to get. I've been saying it all season long. 2 or 3 games will look absolutely unbeatable. We'll get a game where we just absolutely shit the bed and just forget how to play football, and we look like scrubs. Going into the postseason, not that this is going to make a difference, but it would be nice to get in, obviously, with a win, because without the win, we don't get in. But I'm just saying it would be nice to actually go in there with a victory on your back. End the season at 10-7, when we started off 1-4. So I'm curious to see how this goes. Sorry, I'm trying to put my hands in a certain place, but it hurts. I don't know, man. I really don't. I'm hoping Jonathan Taylor gets $150. I'm hoping that Carson Wentz has about 200 to 225 yards passing with 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Paris Campbell hopefully will be activated for this game. He's been practicing all week. DeForest Buckner's been hurt all week, so we don't know if he's playing. Xavier Rhodes is out for this game with a hamstring injury. We brought in Prince Amukamara, the veteran, former first-round pick out of Rutgers, to get a workout with the Colts, so we might even have a brand new corner, which just does not make me feel comfortable. Not that Jacksonville has anything threatening in terms of like receivers, but to bring in a new guy this late in the year to learn the system and try to freaking figure out what it is that's going on does not bode well for me in terms of being comfortable. And then I don't know. We got a great play on special teams. When we played them last time, we got that big block and we scored. So, I mean, hopefully we can recreate some magic and get something in there in that regards. But I would not be surprised if we lost. But I will predict that we will win this game. But I will predict that we win in the final seconds with a field goal.